Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And today we're going to take a look at an article in The Guardian with regards to journalism, sports journalism in particular, and journalism in Scotland. Not that there's anything different, I suspect, from sports journalism anywhere, but this particular piece is concentrating on Scotland. And it's how the attitudes to women seem to have, well, not really moved on from the 70s. It seems rife. It's certainly wrong. I mean, looking at it, it's awkward. It's cringy. It's the sort of thing that should be, in the dustbin of history. You saw the Harry Enfield piece at the beginning there. Now that's obviously satire, and not at all true today. That sort of that attitude to women has no place. After all, I think the ladies have come on tremendously well. Let's have a look at this article. So, here's the article. As you see, as I said, the Guardian. Female sports reporters rail against sexism at Scottish newspapers. Exclusive. Campaign to tackle inequality launched after uproar over misogynistic jokes at industry awards. Why are they having to get and tackle inequality in this day and age? I mean, it's beyond the joke. It really is. What is wrong with these people? There's a picture of Gabby Logan, the lovely Gabby. Now, she has a reputation. She's been a sports reporter, sports correspondent, and sports presenter for many, many years. Respected, knowledgeable, expert in the in her game, football in her case. You listen to what she says. She's informative. You accept her as a voice of authority. 99% of people do. Normal people do. But apparently not people in Scottish sports journalism. We'll get into the piece. Female journalists have accused Scotland's newspapers of sexist and discriminatory attitudes towards sports reporters after controversy arose over misogynistic jokes at an awards dinner. Women in Journalism Scotland has launched a campaign calling for far greater diversity among sports reporters after it was discovered only 3 of Scotland's 95 full-time newspaper sports writers were women. Now, don't forget they're writing about many, many sports, a lot of which are played by women. So, you're going to have I suppose you could have the argument that there's going to be a lot of male-oriented writing, because for most sports it would be a male-oriented sport. We're thinking the likes where football, men's football is better is the wrong term. More high profile. Men's sports are more high profile than women's, generally. There are some exceptions. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have women writing them. Anyway, let's have a carry on with this. A study by 2 master's students from the University of Strathclyde found evidence that male recruits were being paid more than women, despite having less experience, while a sports journalism course at a Scottish college had been attended by just 8 women in its 13-year history, and in many years its students were all male. Well, you can't legislate that. If you're offering a course and only men apply, then obviously you're going to have only men in the classes. This isn't something, I think, they're not putting up a sign saying no women not welcome, please don't attend. It's that women aren't applying. So you can't really legislate against that. It's a woman's choice. Now, the fact is some women have applied, some women have gone on to the course. It's predominantly going to be male because a lot of women won't do a sports course. They might be interested in a different form of journalism or a different type of degree. So you can't really judge that. I think that's unfair to blame a college that offers a degree and then you moan that not many women have applied for it. That's down to the women not applying, I think. The campaign, which is backed by sports presenter Gabby Logan, was launched after a number of female journalists walked out of a football awards ceremony on Sunday night due to an after-dinner speaker peppering his speech with sexist, homophobic and racist remarks. You do have to be careful what you say. I mean, you do have to expect some banter, and you can't just assume that just because someone's a woman or gay or a person of colour that they need protecting because they're weak. But you have to draw the line at abuse, I suppose. So it's a line in the sand. It's a hard line to draw, I think. I think people generally know where the line is, though, don't you? Anyway, the Scottish Football Writers Association, which hosts the awards in Glasgow, apologised on Monday after Bill Copeland, a retired lawyer who is well known on the football after-dinner circuit, was accused of repeatedly using discriminatory language in his speech. Eilith Barber, a sports presenter for the BBC, Sky Sports and Amazon Prime, was among those who walked out in protest, tweeting after the event that she had never felt so unwelcome in the industry I work in. Gabriella Bennett, a co-chair of Women in Journalism Scotland, said that while she and all those at her table also stood up to leave in protest, most audience members were laughing at Copeland's remarks. Logan said, "I can't believe I'm reading all this in 2022. No, neither can I. I think, seriously, is this the level that you're at? This is carry-on humour. Nobody should be offended by carry-on humour. It was 1960s and 1970s. But that was 50 to 60 years ago. Of course times have changed. Things that were acceptable then are no longer acceptable. I'm not saying like I said, you can have banter, but you've got to draw the line. You can't abuse. In 2022, there should be no barriers or discrimination to anyone who wants to enter our profession. And once they are there, they should be made to feel welcome and encouraged to excel, whoever they are. And, that's basically, what the piece should be about. You shouldn't have to put up with this in this day and age. I mean, this is, I don't know if this is particular to Scotland or particular to the sports industry, the sports writers but it's wrong. It's wrong. I'm going to come up and round this off. It's gone a little bit longer than I thought. I just thought it'd be a short piece. But it was interesting that this is still going on and is tolerated. So yeah, I think the sports writing industry needs to get its game in order. If you're going to be treating women like that, expect the pushback. But what on earth possessed you to employ a man who would speak like that? You've got a room with women in it, and he's going to attack the women. It's got people of colour in it, and he's going to attack people of colour. It's probably got gay people in it, and he's going to attack gay people. I mean, this isn't bland, generic humour if it's continually personally attacking people. And it is just continuing the trend that we're seeing, that it's become, for some reason, it's become acceptable to attack women. It's the cancellation of women is continuing, and it needs to be fought. And if it isn't the trans lobby trying to do it, or the the reduction and rejection of rights generally by organisations, then it's the toleration of abuse. It's the toleration of sexism. And it's like, why? Why is it tolerated? Why is it allowed? Why aren't more people standing up? Now, I say to the women who did literally stand up and walk out, you did the right thing. Ladies, you win by doing that. When you stand up and walk out like that, you win. Now, I've subsequently heard that he has been fired by the representatives, I suppose agents or whatever, that deal with things like this, that sort of engage, after dinner speakers for such events. And I've heard that they've basically fired him. They're not going to offer him any more employment. He's crossed the line even for them. So Good. Someone's had to take a stand. It's a shame it wasn't the writers, though. It actually ended up being an agency. But that's up to him. So he's probably finished. He's just given his last speech. But others need to take note. Anyway, I shall draw this to a close. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notifications of future output. Leave a like. Leave a comment. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and goodbye.